I want to make it full screen for you guys. I don't know if, why am I clicking that? What?
It's fine. I see. I'm seeing it
it's
fine.
I like the title.
Yes. Great, thanks. Yeah, so anywhere is walking distance if you've got the time. That's a Steve Wright quote. Okay, so how do I do this? All right. All right, so if you're a bar owner, you want to know, is competition good or bad? Do you want to open your bar in a high traffic area or go where there are a few competitors? And basically, I already said this, but I'm just that stubborn, I'm going to go through it. If you like me, however, you'd like to find a bar that is both highly rated and very unpopular. You don't like crowds. So one of the things I needed to do in order to make this happen was I needed to calculate the distance of every bar with every other bar. So that I could know for any single bar how many bars were within a certain distance, within a certain radius. That was the code I was most proud of. Okay, so the database is 615 bars that was available in CSV format, and I had these, 4 variables starting with. The number of reviews, again, is a proxy, and I should say something about the customer ratings as well, because a lot of it, in the end, I do an analysis about the relationship with ratings and popularity, and the ratings have such a small standard deviation. I mean, they're between really 3 and 4 for the most part, so I'm not sure how much we can go by that. First, I used a geocode function so that I could get the latitude and longitude of all the addresses. And then I calculated basically the walking distance. There was a way of calculating distance between latitude and longitude that's typically used. It's a fairly complicated formula in my view, but it's also as the bird flies, as the crow flies, is that the expression? But this is walking. So I basically took the distance from one corner to the next corner to the next corner to get to how you get to the bars.
There's a name of it's called Manhattan distance. Is it Manhattan distance? Move like this, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is Manhattan distance. Here's a picture of the code, but I'd like to go through it more when I'm finished doing this. Then I did some analysis of the findings, and I created some visualizations. This is just a sneak preview. Because what you're doing, what I did is for every single bar, for every single sort of analysis, you have 2 options that you need to select from. One is, what's the radius you're interested in? Is it 1 block, 5 blocks? The other is, what's the density? Are you interested to know whether there are 10 bars within 1 block radius? So those are 2 variables you get to play with in this code, and I didn't go through every infinite possibility that there is, but this preview of findings, if you look at the bars that have 5 bars within 1 block, their ratings count is 222 as opposed to 145 for the rest. So they have a lot of traffic. But the bars that have 10 bars within a block, they're not quite so popular. So there's this moment where competition becomes a problem. And then if you look down to the 5 block radius, you'll see that they have much less traffic. And that's because, for New Yorkers, 5 blocks is about as far as you're going to walk. All right, so now we'll look at some code.
Anyone OR major?
What major?
Operation research.
Oh.
Wow, you're reading this book.
Huh?
Advanced R programming.
Oh, I have all kinds of stuff on here. But you should just be looking at this.
The
why
syncing is a
you
bit
do this?
slow.
Oh, okay. All right. I probably should stand to this so that I'm able to point to where I'm looking. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I put the address, the long list of 615 addresses where I had the street, the city and the state. Really, I just need the city, the state, and the street. And I pasted them, which basically means in R that I put them in a format that I wanted it to be in. This is a format that Google was happy with, so that's what I did. Then with one line of code, I was able to get all the addresses that I needed down from from Google. And it comes down as a data frame, so it's very, very easy to work with. I just gave it a name, globe, so I could start using globes as an object. I've already done that, and I'm not going to, because I didn't want us to have to sit and wait for 615 laps and lines to come down, so that's already in there. And then I created this function, which is really, all right. So what the function is doing is this part of it, which is a loop inside of a loop, is basically saying to R, take the first row of the first latitude and do a calculation so that you can calculate the difference between that and every single longitude and every single latitude. So it goes the first column will go down, the first I don't know how to explain this, I should have done a visual, but basically, so if the first row has these many columns, this first column, first row, will do all kinds of calculations on every other item. And then it'll go to the next one, and that'll do a calculation on every single item. So basically what the loop is saying is go to the first row, do everything, and then go back. There are other things in this code that I sort of decided to do at the last minute. I multiplied all of the distances by 1,000 because it turns out if I do that, 1 is about a block. So that seems like a good, better than putting in 0.0003, whatever. Then I created an index. Basically, I said to R, take this number radius that I'm going to give you at the beginning, and tell me when you look at these distances that you just calculated, how many of them are above or below that radius, and give me a true or false. And in R, trues are 1s and falses are 0s, so you can actually sum them up. So I was able to sum up across every single row the number of bars that met this criteria that I put into the program. And then I had to subtract by 1 because every bar was counting itself. Right? Because if you are interested in, tell me every bar that is less than 10 blocks, every bar is going to be less than 10 blocks from itself. So I subtracted that. Okay. Okay. That's really the whole show. The rest of it is not as interesting. So then what I did is I created a bunch of data frames that I won't get into, because now what I want to do is I want to find out what the relationship is between the proximity and the popularity. So I created some data frames and I did some correlations and some means. But all of this was really in order to get to the following, what I call the so what function, which should run, because I think I've run everything already, but this is an example where I'm looking at, I want to know, radius. I think this is one where I'm asking how many bars within 5 blocks have at least 5 other bars within that same radius. Yeah, that was my crowd threshold. So then I ran my so what function. If it's not broken, it'll tell you that.
Oh, careful.
Okay, so what this is telling you is that it's taking a while. I'll read from my screen because I can see it. What this is saying is that there are 500 bars that have at least 5 other bars within a 5 block area. In terms of the bar owner's question, the mean number of reviews for this group is 160 as compared to 95 for bars that don't have that attribute. As for the customers choosing bars, the average rating for these crowded bars is 3.9, and it's 3.95 for the less populated ones. that we're going to see throughout because there's just not enough difference between the ratings. Now, I'd like to say, and I think it's probably not completely false to say that New Yorkers will happily go to a bar that's really highly rated as they will to go to a bar that's not highly rated. I mean, that's sort of what the finding says. So then, is it up yet? Is it back there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's it. All right, then I just thought I would just create some maps.
Guys, Kiko lives in Princeton and she has to catch next train. So we're going to take a picture for this class. Would you mind we have 1 minute there break?
Sorry, Marifel. I wanted to stay for your fitness.
Yes, I'm
So
sorry.
sorry, gotta go.
Who can help?
I have full stretch.
Oh, okay.
You have.
Thank you
Why
so
don't
much.
we just use the
Thank you
computer?
so much.
Do you have my phone is dead, so do you have a phone?
Yes. Come, guys. This is
Taking this on.
yeah, I think you're
I can go with your phone.
My phone has no stretch left.
Mine is also dead.
It's like
who's using good We should take
thank you.
Guys, come. Class picture. Yes. Big smile.
Okay, we done?
One more.
Can you take my phone?
Send me.
Yes, I will for sure.
The screen is right.
Um,
Oh, here. Turn that on. We'll come back to it.
Alright, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Here, this
Smile.
way.
Yay. R.
Guys, we need to take picture. Everyone holding your certificate.
Right.
Yes. One more picture. Everyone holding a certificate. Yes.
Get my bag up there. Can we get the screen up for something to look at while this is
There's a
happening?
name. It's got a name in it.
Could we somehow?
This is yours. This is yours. I'm taking breath. Okay, cool. Guys, come over. Come over. Yes. Awesome. Big smile.
Could we? I'm almost done, but I'd like them to see one map.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah. See you
Sorry.
next time.
Good trip home.
All right.
What's this? Brian. Oh, Brian. Um,
So is anyone still eating? Oh, I'm sorry, Janet. So my go-to is your favorite restaurant in New York.
we should put our projects together actually. I don't know if you want to really not okay.
So like Lila, I also use NYC Open Data, and I've used several packages, mainly to manage my data and to create a couple of word clouds. So based on the data, in 2013, and we have different data results. So,
There's enough restaurants out there.
yeah. So in 2013, there were almost 11,000 restaurants in New York City based on the inspection results data, and they are primarily in Manhattan, and there's also a big variation of cuisine types or restaurant types especially in Manhattan. Based on the data, there are also 85 distinct type of restaurants, and unlike her results, I have Chinese as the most number of restaurants in total. unlike Laila, I look at the scores of restaurants in the past 3 years from 2011 to 2013. Now, as you can see, the scores by borough are actually going down, which means the scores of restaurants in general are improving across all boroughs. So scores are calculated based on the number of violations per restaurant. So if once a restaurant incurs a violation, they get scored. So if they have more points, they have more scores. So that means you should not be going to that restaurant. And then the average score of restaurants by cuisine type, it's also improving because it's going down. And if you can see that one outlier, that's actually a Hawaiian restaurant. So what I'm showing here are the top 20 restaurants having the highest scores, which means they are the worst restaurant types.
Give us the list. Yeah, give me the list when you're done of where not to go.
Yes. And then in 2013, based on grades, Manhattan has the highest proportion of grade A restaurants. So if you live in this expensive neighborhood called Manhattan, you have a lot of options of grade A restaurants. So I want to ask you, why do you eat at grade A restaurants? Maybe because you just trust the inspection agencies, right? But for me, it's easier to just go to a grade A restaurant because letter A is more enticing than B. But
Since you were a kid, right?
But if you look at the word cloud, which is an output of 4 different R packages, you can see that grade A restaurants are quite similar to the general population of restaurants in terms of violations. So using the word cloud packages, the output are actually a chart that shows the words that are most mentioned in the violations. So if you zoom in or if you come closer, you will see some words that you don't really want to see or want to remember when you're eating excuse me, China. So there are words there that are that would make you lose your appetite quickly. And then these are the top 20 violations by grade A restaurants that were inspected in 2013. So yeah, basically, if you want to eat at a grade A restaurant, you just don't trust the grades. Maybe you have to work more, like finding out from Yelp or TripAdvisor or any social media and research more what were the violations, or just to make sure you're not eating anything that will make you throw up. So basically that's my presentation, and my next steps are actually wanted to focus on the top 100 restaurants based on the Zagat review. They just released the top 100 in 2013, so that would be a good one. And then I've attempted to create a GG map, but it just wouldn't work. I spent like 30 hours on it. It just wouldn't work. I have all the addresses and the longitude and latitude using the Google API.
But user, in 2 minutes.
User?
Yes.
Well,
And download it.
but it just
In 2
wouldn't
minutes,
work.
you can
I
get
don't
the
know,
map
maybe it's
down.
my computer. So, and then that's my source. So that's my presentation. Thank you.
Vote. Question. Any question? Do you want the list?
I don't know. Yeah, I think no.
We're selling it. $1 per list. Okay, we're voting, guys. How long do you think it's done? Seriously? You passed! My goodness!
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
You didn't pass.
She already get. I didn't take picture of you guys holding the diploma. Guys, you missed the best part. They have done NBA analytic, and they make really nice star-shaped plot. I was hoping they can present. Do you have any of them? The plot, the star plot.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Yeah, do you have it?
I don't know if I can find it, but
They
I
have
can,
done
when I
a
put
good job.
When I put up the markdown file on the website, I think I can attach like a short.
I see. Okay, you. How about the other group? What's your project? Group project. Did you do well?
Oh, we did baseball.
Baseball.
And
Then
probably basketball.
It's up. I put it up.
I see. How do you like today's presentation?
Very good.
Awesome. Thank you for holding up. We're going to have a little bit private time with my students and family. Good job. Here. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Thank you for coming for tonight. Next month is my class on Next month. Next Tuesday is my class on DCS class presentation. If you have time,
I know.
Really impressive. Yeah.
They almost start 5 days. That's why I keep saying we need them to be here.
Spending more time.
We're getting really good.
I'll do that.
Awesome.
I actually really.
You present well.
Yeah, let's see. Let's feel like we're doing some. I've done this training, but not the.
You need to do really good.
Okay.
That's how you get.
Like my degree that I got ranked up.
That's why they're.
I'll probably say
Diploma.
it's nice for me. Yeah, because it's I think you already have enough for both stuff.
Yeah.
I can just ask you and then you collaborate. It's easy.
Thank you
No
so
matter how
much.
we can.
Yeah, we totally do it.
Yeah, that's what
Ooh, you look like a PhD tonight. I'm so glad. No, I haven't make it.
Oh, you did. I thought that maybe inside take some classes. I think there's something I'm presenting on Tuesday.
You should take my class,
What do you mean, your class?
my R class, R machine learning.
Yeah.
Smile. Smile. One more. Smile. Big smile.
Smile, dude.
Don't move. Don't move. Smile.
Are you recording now because you didn't record me before?
No. I recorded you. Smile. Oh, okay. That's good. Awesome. We have really interesting presentations. The student was sick. He ran down
The star of the class.
Oh my gosh. I do love it. I do
You did a great job.
Right, I'm just not content. I want to go. Let me see where
Next one first.
But I'm basically gonna make an absolute class a little easier. I don't know UI friendly. I don't know statistics. I'm the second now.
This
I'm getting into this. I'm conscious about.
If anybody's hiring, let me know.
This is one of the best parts. Get you along with.
Like it's pretty cool. My stepbrother is so much fun. Like he's good at that time.
It's coming.
I really like it. I don't know if I'll get that brain.
You're here. Hi.
The missing values or
Yeah.
I saw some extension there. And then they, I had a problem with the mapping. Like, you know how you would like to press everything. Sorry.
Mine are big.
No, honestly, you know what the one thing that I got out of is that it's really enjoyed a lot of times people go along with it. Like maybe like how like
For this kind of
for this kind of yeah, so like in terms of coding, like rolling me out like I was like I was in tears this morning. Are you really? Yeah, and so like because I was expecting to like do all the stuff, but
I had to do a little bit of analysis because I had to share with my boss. So I just finished one thing. After that one, the other boss.
right. To me, that's like kind of sort of. I don't know. Just the whole like place to place. Like I know that there's from like bar to bar, like the woman is. I
know you know where. So I have a package for the art chair.
See, I
Okay.
That was both my best friend this week. Perfect.
You know, you also look at that. That was not that popular. This is no question. After my, something after my, since January when I was presented with this, I was way to do it together. And I just felt so good.
That I'm gonna figure it out.
Yes, important.
I will, yes, I know,
But the way the formula I can do a lot with that lines. Right after you see the formula that package uses is this very
June. I tried to use that, but you see it so many.
I feel like much learning.
Okay.
Yeah, you got the actual
that long, they're saying how to get the distance.
We are partnered with
No, I saw about the like
Oh, okay.
calculating. Yeah.
That it is very,
Yeah, I
right,
know.
so I'm saying the formula itself
Here.
is complicated, what I
We were
can
hosting
say
class in Times Square.
is I just basically said for any two points, it's the, it's the length
That
meter
is
there.
freezing there. Oh my god.
Really? Okay, well, let's keep you awake. Not that bad. Come on.
No, very good. Thank you for your support. I should take a picture. She
She
is the reason you can take the class.
That's right.
Oh my god. Look alike.
Everybody tells us that.
And
How many years you have been married?
Less than one.
Less than September 20th we got married.
What? Are you calling in the past?
Yeah. How did you know?
And
It's so
I
alive.
find it
What?
and I was like,
They're
what?
alive.
Yeah.
Especially
I don't have technical
That's
skills.
good.
All this stuff.
All right. On that note.
But the
Both
one
is
thing
in
you
here
have is,
area.
like, have
Okay, so looking
All
forward
right.
to machine learning
Oh my
examples.
god.
And
I might relate on that homework because.
Yeah,
Where's
no,
this?
because.
No, because you're going to do it.
All right. We
This
gotta
is
run.
really, really cool.
Really.
I have to first understand this stuff.
It's like, you know,
Bye.
great.